glorious, wondrous humans. It's JD, tuning in for the waxing moon reading for the Gemini Lunation. So before we begin, as I'm shuffling these cards, I just invite you to quickly tune in to your body, tap in above, below, feel your feet in the earth, connect to mama, and within, connect to your heart and the womb space, solar plexus, and send a big pillar of light up to the stars and down to the earth from your core. And then just tune in and ask the question, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Take some breath. Think about your question. What are you needing clarity on? And ask again. 1, 2, 3, or 4. As we ask for guidance, and we honor the directions, we honor the elements, the air, the fire, the water, the earth, the ether, and we honor the ancestors, the first people of the land that we sit on, in all of the corners of the globe. So right at the center of the reading is the empress. And this applies for all of us. The empress in all beings. The empress that is connected to the bounty of Divine Mother. And the ability to master one's life. The Empress sits on the throne of her life and she is in mastery of her internal sovereign domain. So this is an energetic of being more directive than passive in our life. The Empress is weaving all of the elements. She's working with nature. She's working with the cycles. And the cycles and the seasons are moving us forward constantly with the rhythm of the moon. And the stars and the sun and the sky, all having this beautiful conversation through our body into Earth, Mama Earth. And so we're part of this really giant, glorious, wondrous picture. And tapping into this Empress energy is really tapping into the sacred feminine aspect, who she knows that the fruits of the seeds that she sows will yield. She knows that as she honors all of the elements moving in and around and through her, and her conversation, how she participates with the conversation of life. When she recognizes she has too much fire, she weaves with the water. When she realizes there's too much air, which is going on right now, there's so many planets in air signs. And so we've got all this crazy mental energy going on. So when we realize that then it's a call to embodiment, to get our hands in the dirt, to move, to sweat, to participate in inspired actions that propel us forward and get all of this in and through, because your body is a sacred pipe through which spirit breathes. So that's the central energy for the reading. And number one is the Father of Cups. So those of you who picked number one, I'm going to say the Divine Father within yourself. This is the Father of Cups, the King of Cups, the King of Emotion, the Father of Emotion, and the King of Cups the Father of Cups. I love the Father, especially while we're dismantling this empire mindset, colonization, keep the empire going mindset. You know, when we think about the dynamic of Divine Father that exists within all beings, regardless of gender identification, this Father of Cups is the Father who is response able. He's able to respond to his emotion. Now, this can be a masculine person who is totally out of control with their emotions. So, what do we know about water when it's out of control? That it calms down. The logical mind does not calm emotion. It makes it worse. If someone's in their primal brain and all they need to do is be witnessed, their emotion is a thing, right? So some tools that we can work with if the emotional Father of Cups is manifesting for the number one people, we can use tools like saying to a person who we want to lean into, hey, do you have space to hear me? I don't need to be fixed. I just really need to be witnessed in this raw emotion that I'm experiencing right now. It's witnessing ourselves in our raw emotion, because emotion is energy in motion, and it's also this life spark of creativity. And we live in this ridiculous culture that is constantly trying to shut down emotion because we're scared of it. So this is also a part of it, because we're in the Gemini spiral. Sun is almost finished. Father Sun is almost finished his rendezvous with Gemini this season. And Luna is in her Gemini spiral. Venus is almost halfway through her Gemini 18-month sojourn. And Mercury is also in Gemini, and there's just all this really strong Gemini stuff, and we're going to be feeling the effects of the Gemini eclipse for ages, because this is life-changing stuff. Like, we just revisited themes from 2002. So where the unavailable Father has been present, where the unavailability to emotion and the shutting down in not being emotionally available for ourselves, and not having really healthy role models that say, hey babe, come here, I've got you. Yeah, you're having emotion. I'm not taking it personally. I've got you. I would love to witness you in your chaotic feminine. Because that's what it is. Emotion is the chaotic feminine in all beings. So, and there's nothing wrong with it. Chaos creates life. It's part of the spiral of life. Order comes from chaos. There's always this resistance moment. There's a point of like, holy fuck, I'm going to lose my mind. And then boom, all of a sudden clarity comes in. When you're doing a medicine journey, the most chaotic moment pushes you through to these pivotal moments where we wake up inside of something that has been totally out of our reach for a long time. For some of you who chose number one, it's also giving yourself permission to really dive into that thing that you want to create. Because as the Father of Cups is such a creative, juicy man who, you know, he loves to dance and play in creative spaces. And, you know, if we can think about that, the masculine container that allows creative flow. So whatever it is that you're wanting to anchor in through your practices and actually making space. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Carve out time and commit and see the magic that unfolds for you in your own creative endeavors. Now, the goddess who wants to play with number one glorious wonders of the world is Bust, the Egyptian goddess. So, if we think about the energy of the cat and the multidimensionality and the cat's ability to be wild and instinctual, this really confirms that whole energy of like, what is it that you're wanting to create? Let yourself be wild and instinctual because you're glorious and wondrous. And paired with the Empress, you've got all the forces of nature on your side. So go for it. Carve out time and do it. And remember that no matter how emotional you are, your emotions are beautiful. You are welcome. All of you is lovable. No matter how much it feels like you don't fit inside of this 24-hour system. It's okay. Lunar rhythmic humans, solar energized humans. The system that revolves on 24-hour time can't continue the way it has been. And that's something to be celebrated, hey? So, yeah. Be brave. Create. I tell myself I'm going to spend 5 minutes on every angle of the dangle. Number two. You're the Daughter of Cups. Oh, we've got a bit of a theme going on here. Daughter of Cups. So this is the inner child. And the Daughter of Cups can manifest as tantrums. But this is really appropriate to what I just said about learning how to create a container for our emotions. If you think about a cup contains water, right? So in this dance of emotion, divine masculine, divine feminine, within all beings, yeah? Let's not get too gendery about it. So the lunar aspect, feminine aspect, is emotion. It's feeling, flow, movement, water, all the things. Not all the things, actually. And then the masculine aspect is the solar, the witness, and the container. So it's consciousness and creation. So the cup contains the water. Now the cup is not making the water wrong if it flows out. The cup is just there witnessing the water. Does that make sense? Like our brain, our mind, the witness, the aspect of us that can witness what's happening. This is about witnessing what you're feeling without becoming it and identifying with it, and then letting the monkey mind attach story to the feeling. I'm feeling this because la 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 la, and then next minute there's a whole bunch of shit going down in relationship town. So when we put on our robes of compassion, that's what we're doing in the Venus Rose spiral in our circles and our meditations. This is where we come into this place of I'm putting on a robe of compassion and understanding that we're all learning how to navigate emotion, and emotion is high. The revisitation of lots of things and recognizing that stuff isn't working is fucking prevalent right now. So what do? We witness the emotion. Oh, I'm feeling really sad. I'm feeling really sad. I'm feeling uncertain. I'm feeling, and the witness just observes without making the emotion wrong or trying to solve it, because this is the thing. Emotions are not a problem that need to be fixed. They're just feelings. They're energy in motion. And when they are witnessed without all the mind chatter, then we're present. And this is where we can use our practices, our movement. You know, we can write a letter, we can do all the things, we can burn it, we can practice beautiful rituals, we can make love and orgasm, we can do all kinds of things to clear the emotion, write a poem, sing a song, let the medicine of your voice be the thing that brings you forward. And so here we are in the waxing moon. So we're planting the seeds that we want to grow. Yep, I'm feeling sad. And it's not the only energy that I am able to connect to. So I'm present with my feeling while simultaneously understanding and knowing that this is an infinite universe and that there are so many possibilities open to me. So I'm not defined by this one feeling and this one experience, but I'm being present with it. And then I'm going to choose something. I'm going to choose to play in joy. I'm going to choose, and if joy is not available, because jumping from sad to joy is massive, so we can go, okay, what other energies do I want to play in? It might be awe, to go for a walk and just recognize with the eyes of a child. Oh, hi, nature. Hello, butterfly. Hello, tree. I do it all the time. It's so fun. You should try it. So, the card. You know, a girlfriend and I were talking about this the other day, and I'm just going to flag this thing. We have so many coolisms, and many of us have learned that, you know, don't get too excited about anything because being excited is not cool. Well, my friends, the coolest thing on the planet is when you're walking down the street with someone and they're like, oh my God, look at that butterfly. Or you're checking the surf and someone's like, dude, look at the shape of that wave. Or look at the colors in the clouds. Or, oh my God, did you see the look on that person's face? That was just so delightful. Like, let's cultivate a sense of awe and majesty and mystery. Like, let that be the seeds that you're planting. What energetic thing are you cultivating that is going to create the emotion and essentially plant the seeds for the garden of your tomorrow? All right, goddesses, who wants to play with our number 2 wondrous, glorious humans? Wow, she looks pretty hardcore. She is. Diana. Get your tits out, loves. That's what the message is. Love your lady landscape. She is both Goddess and beast. The Romans see her as the goddess of the light, and the Celts have a really, really strong connection with Diana as well. She's the goddess of solitude, and she's comfortable with the wilderness. So straight away, the hit that I get from this is some of you are in total judgment of your wildness, of the parts of you that you see as beastly. And Gemini, all these placements in Gemini, they're saying, hey, can we build a bridge of love between these dualities? Because the things that you think are beastly, that's just a really fucking mean conversation that you're having with yourself, and that's not necessary anymore. So come on, time to up level. Yeah? Because that's the duality. That's the piece where it's non necesario anymore. No, you be your own best friend. We all have beastly tendencies. So what would it take to befriend your beast? What would it take to befriend your inner beast, my friends? Hi lovelies. So the last video stopped recording and I was talking to myself, and in true Mercury retrograde style, all of the power went out in the house. So here I am the next day delivering the rest of the reading. So for the people who chose number 3, you chose the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles it's a financial and practical card. So it's about taking what you've got in your hand right now and using it, using the tools that you've got and the things that you've got, and taking steps forward towards the thing that you're asking the universe for. So paired with the Empress card, that was the theme of the whole reading, this is an invitation to recognize that the spiral of manifestation, according to the medicine wheel of the womb, starts with air, the thoughts, and then what we align and agree with and put words and actions to in the fire creates a momentum, an energy in motion, and that emotion, energy in motion, then propels the manifestation of the outcome. So it builds the energy, and the outcome shows up in our 3rd dimensional reality. So the message behind the 3 of Pentacles is a clear thing that I'm hearing is try not to notice the mountain in front of you. Instead, look at the things that you can do today, the steps that you can take. And so because this is a waxing moon reading for the lunation of Gemini, we get to see that the theme of the lunation of Gemini is really about balancing masculine and feminine. So in the waxing moon, when we're planting seeds, we're also setting up the container that we need. And when I say container, I mean there's no point in building a garden unless you've built the garden bed. You know, you can't just pop the seeds in the ground. You need to build the garden bed. So the garden bed is like that masculine aspect. It's the container that the garden grows inside of and the seeds are planted in. So this is where we come into this thing of like, okay, well, if I want an outcome, then I'm going to need to dedicate a certain amount of time every day to that without striving and burning yourself out, but rather just coming into this place of what can I do today with where I'm at in my cycle, where Luna is at in her cycle, to align with sacred time and to take inspired actions. So it's a really good card. And the 3 indicates that you are being invited to remember that this is a co-creation. It's not just you, it's you and the universe. The dreams that you've got inside of your heart are there for a reason, because you are meant to birth something. So whatever it is that you would ultimately like, whether it's leaving your job and finding a new one, creating your own business, writing a song, even if it's like making a dress or learning a new skill or trade, just remember you're not on your own. Take the steps and watch what's going on in your mind. Tell yourself, set yourself up to win with the narrative that you're telling yourself. So the goddess that wants to play with number 3 people is Minerva. And look at this beautiful artwork. And she is the Greek goddess of wisdom, war and wisdom, arts and crafts. She is the goddess of 1,000 works. So my feeling is that there's beautiful creative things that want to be birthed through you, and you can lean into Minerva to help you to really commit to your craft. She's all about musical instruments, numbers, crafts. The serpent is an emblem of life, energy, and creative impulse. The owl is a symbol of death and wisdom. She's the goddess of the dawn and of wisdom. So this is what, coming back, it works so well with the 3, because it's the 3 of Pentacles, because this is, the 3 of Pentacles is really about having the wisdom about where to plant the garden, about what seeds and what season and what time, and, you know, even using the resources that are on the land instead of going and buying them. And so this is that invitation to take what you have in your hand and what's available to you, and to use those resources to refine your craft and give yourself permission to bring the thing through. Sisters who chose number 4, you chose the 10 of Cups. So this is generally, this is a card of success. This is relationship success, it's parties, it's celebration. So you're at the end of a relationship cycle where the outcome that you've been praying for or working towards is there. And so when we think about the cups, we're thinking about, in the 10, we're drinking from a full cup. We're in a place of overflow. So really giving thanks for the overflow of our heart. So yeah, if you're inquiring about a greater commitment, a deeper commitment, this could be a yes for that. It could be a yes for the financial abundance that you're calling in. It could be a breakthrough in your relationship. A yes, keep going. Just give it more space, give it more time, fill your own cup. And this is about receiving the harvest, the celebration of what is in your world, and cultivating this beautiful energy where you're coming from overflow. Because we can always have dreams for tomorrow. You know, we can always do better, think of something more. It's such a natural part of human nature to constantly want to be doing better. So this is just saying, hey, look at the breakthroughs. Drink from the full cup. This is like, you're doing good, and whatever path you're on, just really stay focused on that. And the goddess card is Kuan Yin, and she is the goddess of compassion. And so when we think about this with the Empress card and the overflow, we know that working from the heart and allowing that place of compassion towards self and towards others, and really letting that golden light of love, the golden rays of your heart and Christ consciousness as well. So Kuan Yin helps us to really walk in this place of forgiveness and compassion and allowing the jewels of our heart, the jewels of being connected to a beautiful universe, to be our guide. So my honeys, this is just such a beautiful reading. And when we look at the whole thing, we can see that number one is the waxing moon energy. That's the east of the medicine wheel. And then number two is the full moon energy. That's the south and the fire. And number three is the west, the medicine woman and the water. And then the north is the winter, the wise woman, the earth. And so with these three directions, this is where we pull towards ourselves and we work with the cycles and the seasons to really align our lives with nature. It is a spiral of manifestation, and within this there is so much space. There is space to take your time. And this is the other thing that's really important to remember, is that female bodies with menstrual cycles, not just menstrual cycles, all female identified individuals, we are lunarhythmic, which means that our body is, her way of functioning is in every 28 days. It's a lunar cycle. Masculine identified individuals, their hormones reset every night as they sleep. And we get a small amount of reset happening, but essentially our reset happens when we bleed. So learning how to live in alignment with these four phases rather than constantly being in this thing of like, why am I not able to fit inside of this system? If we're all creative beings and, you know, we live inside of a solar identified society, and it's going to change. It's when we take back sovereign domain of our own cycles and our own sensitivities and the way that we function, that we are able to really begin to start to carve a different future for ourselves. So here we are. This is a reading for the Venus Rose Circles, the sisters who have signed up for the Venus Rose Circles. And the whole idea with these circles is that every week I'm going to drop in some jewels that are being channeled by me for the universe, and on the waxing moon you get to receive your reading. Full moon is a yoga class. That is a major edge for me, and I'm so ready to step past my edge and teach a yoga class online. There'll be sound as well, so I'll be singing, we'll do some restorative poses. We'll be exploring the energetics of that full moon and really playing with our bodies, because the theme for this Venus Rose spiral with the Gemini cycle is she puts on her royal robes, and our body is our royal robe. She is our vehicle. She's the temple that we go to pray. She is our connection between Gaia and the stars. And there is a really beautiful, important conversation happening. So with all this cosmic energy, Saturn in Aquarius, loads of placements in Gemini, Sun in Gemini, we're in a lunation of Gemini. We're in Virgo right now when I'm recording this, but we just spent 3 days in Leo. And so we're in that first quarter moon energy where we get to really decide what energy we're cultivating, the information that's coming through all of these beautiful air signs, and to bring it down through movement and through the conversation we're having with our body. Because, honeys, this body, she is so beautiful, and this is the temple we chose. It's the vehicle we chose, and you might as well love it. Get amongst it. Tap into her pleasure. Thank her every day. Walk the earth with bare feet where you can, and really cultivate this sense of sensuality, because it's your birthright to feel vibrant and vital and connected. You are divine, exactly the way you are. So please commit to compassionate conversations with yourself. Move your body. Give yourself permission to have your dreams and to create the things your heart wants to create, and just recognize where you're head fucking yourself and you're just blocking left, right, and center because of the stories that the mind has committed to in the past. And if you need assistance, I am here. You can book a reading or a mentoring session. So much love. Mwah. See you next week for the yoga class.